Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Wednesday, February 8th. We have all you need to know about a recently criminally charged Penn State employee and an upcoming Center County fundraiser.
We also have more on changes in national Medicaid coverage and President Biden's 2024 election plans, along with weather, sports, and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marianna Daniele.
And I'm Jace.
A former Penn State employee has pleaded guilty to one count of wire fraud this past Thursday. Federal prosecutors report that Daniel Sickles of Doylestown defrauded the university of more than $267,000 over the span of 12 years. His position as Network and Systems Manager for Penn State's Office of Development and Alumni Relations allowed him to use university funds to purchase equipment he then sold to third parties for personal gain. After further investigation by Penn State and the FBI, Sickle will serve 27 to 33 months in prison and will have 3 years of supervised release. He also faces a fine of twice the gross gain or loss of his profits and has agreed to pay over $267,000 in restitution.
A Center County man was sentenced to life in prison on Wednesday after being convicted in the shooting death of a Pine Grove Mills woman. Christopher Kowalski admitted to shooting 61-year-old Judy Tuggy in cold blood in January of 2016. Throughout his trial, Kowalski's defense argued for an insanity plea. He was ultimately found guilty but mentally ill and was convicted on a singular count of first-degree murder. Officials say Kowalski will receive mental health treatments while in prison. His defense reports that there are no plans to appeal his sentence.
Center County residents are anticipating a grant of $1.36 million for home repairs, energy, and accessibility needs. These funds will come from the Whole Home Repairs program, whose goal is to use funds for homes that have safety concerns. Organizers hope that these repairs, current and future residents will have a better quality of living. Center County Commissioner Mark Higgins says that this program is unique because there is such a high percentage of residents that meet the eligibility requirements. Once funding is received, grants will be limited to $50,000 per resident.
The plans for a skate park to be built in State College are getting a pretty decent shakeup from a renowned local action sports camp. Woodward, PA will donate proceeds from its monthly open ride night to the High Point Skate Park. Skateboard program manager for Woodward, PA, Chris Hayton, says that the program is excited to support the prospects of a free skate park in State College. The event will be held on Friday, February 24th from 4 to 9 p.m. in indoor heated spaces at the camp. Spots are available on a first-come, first-served basis, so pre-registration is suggested. Tickets for the event cost $39 and can be purchased online at woodwardpa.com. It looks like Happy Valley is starting to get some glimpses of spring weather this week. But how long can we expect to keep it for? Caroline Castor with Campus Weather Service will give us more details in tonight's weather report. Take a look.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
We had a mild day today and conditions are still feeling like it outside even after the sun is set. Temperatures are ranging from the upper 30s to even the low 50s across the state as you traverse it. So again, a mild day with temperatures above average compared to what they should be this time of year. And that's going to be the case for tomorrow, but there will be some wind and rain in store for your Thursday forecast, and this is what I'm talking about. So temperatures will actually warm up overnight for most places, and with it comes rain ahead of the low pressure system moving into our area, which is raising temperatures. So as you move through the day on Thursday, expect some spotty rain showers as the system moves across the state. but rather warm temperatures and some stronger winds, especially out towards the southwestern part of the state. But then by the time Friday morning rolls around, you can see temperatures are back to where they probably should be this time of year, with a few peaks of flurries, especially up towards the northwestern part of our state. So that's what you have in store. The next big rain chance, or the next rain chance besides Thursday, tomorrow, is going to occur on Saturday, just with some wintry precipitation that's going to move through. But then as you move into Sunday, that should stay off towards our southeast, that next big system. So winter lovers or snow lovers even, your best chance would be Saturday, but even if anything amounts with that system. So sorry, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for some snow, but good news is we do get some rain tomorrow. So if you were hoping for any sort of precipitation, it is in the forecast, just not in the near future. So tonight, expect a low of 33, showers late. Temperatures aren't going to get much lower than what they are now. They will drop to 33 quickly, but then they'll warm right back up for your Thursday forecast. You can see high of 52, so that high is a great temperature, but the rain and wind in store is something we have to note, with gusts even up to 22 miles per hour for your tomorrow's forecast. And then your 7-day forecast, it starts off warm, but then it does get cold again. You can see there's a pretty even trend, but overall, every single high is above what it should be this time of year. So not too shabby. Saturday, there are some chances for some rain, but the sun will return for the majority of your Saturday.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm John Calavita with your sports update. Even though it's the offseason, Katie Schumacher-Colley and Penn State women's volleyball are making splashes with the transfer portal. The Nittany Lions picked up Bethlehem, PA native Lena Perugini from Coastal Carolina. The 5'7" defensive specialist heads to Happy Valley for her 5th and final year of eligibility. Perugini was named to the All-Sun Belt team in 2020 and recorded her 1,000th career dig in 2021. This past year, she played in all 114 sets for the Chanticleers and even played a match inside Rec Hall as Coastal Carolina visited for the Penn State Classic. Perugini is the 5th addition to the team through the transfer portal. On Saturday, Penn State men's hockey is hosting its first ever sled hockey classic against the Happy Valley Coyotes at Pagula Ice Arena. Sled hockey was designed for those with disabilities to play hockey. Players sit on specially made sleds and play with 2 shorter sticks with metal picks to push them across the ice. Penn State Athletics credited the men's hockey players for organizing the charity event. Teams will play a 20-minute contest beginning at 11:30 a.m. with gates opening at 11. Admission is free, but fans are encouraged to donate to the Coyotes GoFundMe. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles face off this Sunday in Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, Arizona. Both come in as #1 seeds with identical regular season records of 14-3. The biggest story surrounding the game is Jason and Travis Kelce, who are set to become the first pair of brothers to compete against each other in Super Bowl history. Many are also dubbing this the Andy Reid Bowl, as Kansas City's head coach has held the same position in Philadelphia for 14 seasons. Another milestone that this game represents is that this is the first time in Super Bowl history that a black quarterback will start for each team. Super Bowl 57 kicks off at 6:30 p.m. on Fox. That's all for your sports update. After the breaks, Max Kugler has the latest updates from the entertainment world. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Max Kugler with your entertainment update. Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. I know a lot of you have yet to make any plans with your special someone. However, there's still hope for you all, because the State Theater is screening When Harry Met Sally at 8 p.m. this coming Tuesday. Yes, Valentine's Day is this coming Tuesday. Better not mess that one up, fellas. When Harry Met Sally is a classic romantic comedy about 2 people whose lives become intertwined as they navigate through their professional lives while living in Manhattan. It's a classic flick. Just ask your parents. Even better, student tickets are just $7. You can buy them online at statetheater.org/events. Ever been to the Friday Farmers Market downtown on Locust Lane? If so, do you remember that taco stand that always had a huge line? Well, they just opened up a brick and mortar location named Carter's Table. Located next to DP Dough and Insomnia Cookies, owner and chef Sean Carter has a vision of incorporating international flavors into a rotating menu of tacos, quesadillas, and more. This past Saturday, I went in to try a few tacos for myself. I got the roast pork, lamb barbacoa, and their daily special, a Thai chicken taco. Everything was pretty tasty, although the Thai chicken had a spicy peanut sauce that might be a bit too much for some palates. Overall, the staff was welcoming and the food came out pretty quick. I definitely recommend stopping by if you're in the area and want to try something new. Moviegoers, I hope you take advantage of that $7 movie ticket at the State Theater because ticket prices are reported to increase in coming months. AMC Theaters is premiering a new pricing plan dubbed Sightline, which will price seating based on the regions of the theater. That means middle seats will become considerably more expensive than ones on the front or on the sides. Still reeling from the financial impacts of COVID, cinemas across the nation have been trying new ways to get people into the theaters and make a few extra bucks along the way. From discounting earlier showings to offering $2 Movie Tuesdays, movie theaters are doing whatever they can to get Americans back to the big screen. Luckily, the theaters near State College are not AMC's, but you might just notice a price change when you see a flick back home. That's all for your entertainment update. After the break, interview anchor Adam Tinkleman will be speaking with Colin Rooney, a member of the Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back to PSN News. I'm Adam Tinkleman, and with me tonight I have Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity member Colin Rooney. Colin, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
So Colin, the first question I have is pretty simple. What is a fraternity?
A fraternity is just a group of like-minded individuals who enjoy hanging out together, enjoy spending time together, and who support each other.
Are there different types of fraternities?
Yeah, there's business fraternities, engineering, social, there's something for everyone.
So I'm assuming when you say business engineering, that means students that are studying that are in that major are welcome at that fraternity.
Yeah, but also you don't necessarily have to be that major. I know for business fraternities, I was interested in joining one, and I am a computer science major, so you don't necessarily have to be that major. It's just something that you might have interest in.
And what would you say some benefits are of joining a fraternity? What made you go seek one out?
Well, you'll always have people to hang out with. There's always something going on. You'll never be bored if you're in a fraternity.
Yeah, I'm sure. We were talking outside, and you sounded very positive on it.
Yeah.
So how would you say fraternities build a sense of community?
Well, these are the people that you're always hanging out with. So you're going to be spending time with them all the time. And you'll get to know them. They'll be like your really good friends. So naturally, that just builds a sense of community.
Have you been provided any job opportunities or good opportunities on campus as a result of being in a fraternity?
Yeah, I'm applying to internships right now. So I've reached out to several older members and reached out to alums, and they've pointed me in the right direction, given me interviews and opportunities to find an internship, actually.
So would you say that it's actually a very good thing for networking?
Yeah, it's huge, super important for networking. There's always going to be someone that's willing to support you and go out of their way to make sure that you find the right place for you.
Right. Older members taking care of the younger members then, yeah. And does this fraternity give you opportunities to reach out to the community in any way? Do they put you in contact with events or anything like that?
Yeah, a huge part of the fraternity is philanthropy. So there'll be different events that our philanthropy chair sets up, and you'll go out into the community. I know we had a Pie a Brother thing where we raised money for Thon. I think we did a dunk, someone had a dunk contest or something, and we raised money that way.
A classic.
Yeah, so there's definitely several ways to raise money and support the community.
And now I wanted to switch a little bit to the actual process of joining a fraternity. This past week was Rush Week, right?
Yes. So at Alpha Sig, we had an event every day where people who were interested could come and see what it's about and hang out with the brothers and see if they're interested in joining.
And so would you say the process is? Is it just hanging out and getting a feel for it and then applying? Or is there some sort of test you have to do?
There's no test. It's really, really casual, actually. You just come. We have different events where you can hang out and talk to brothers. It's super casual, and if it's a good fit and we like you and you enjoy spending time with us, you'll keep coming back, and eventually we'll extend a bid.
So how did Alpha Sigma Phi do? Did you guys get a lot of new members?
Yeah, we did. Actually, for our zone day where people come and visit the house and come to see what we have, we had I believe it was around 200 people come out. And slowly we narrowed it down and less people came. People choose which houses they liked. and it kept getting smaller and smaller. And I believe it was somewhere in between 15 and 20 people that joined this semester.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and it sounds like out of 200 that you had to kind of narrow that pool down a lot.
Yeah. People definitely choose, they go to a lot of different houses and choose which ones they like the most, and then they'll narrow down their decisions and choose which houses they like the most.
Right. And how was each member of the house involved in this decision making? Like, did you have a say in who joined or who was turned away?
Yeah, for us, I know every brother has a vote. I'm not sure exactly how every fraternity does it, but every brother has a voice in who they like and who they think would be a good fit for the fraternity.
And now you also mentioned a house. So that is a physical place, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if every fraternity has a house, but a lot of them do, and it's just a place where, you know, the brothers hang out and live, and I'm actually living in the house next year. Yeah.
And would you recommend living in the house to most incoming people?
I've never lived in the house yet, so I can't speak on my personal experience, but from the people I've talked to, they've definitely enjoyed the experience, and it's something that they enjoyed.
And what advice would you give to people who are looking for a fraternity? What would you say to help them get or help them join these houses?
I would say go visit as many different places as you can and go meet as many people as you can and get a sense of who you like, which places you would fit in, and narrow down your selection slowly, but definitely go visit as many places as you can so that you can see where you would fit.
Now, is it possible to switch fraternities at any point? Are you pretty much set into the one that you join in first?
You're pretty much set into where you join. It's a pretty big decision, so not very many people switch.
Yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of loyalty to the one place you're at. Now, before you did mention older members that you reached out to. Now, older members, did you mean people outside of Penn State? They've like graduated?
Yeah, the alums are very active and they come back, and we actually have alum events where like they can come back and like have brunch. I think we had one event like that, and you'll meet alums and they come back and you know, they'll offer and give opportunities to you.
Yeah, that's great to have this network of people essentially that are really willing to interact and help you, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, I also wanted to talk a little bit about your relationship with this network that you've been provided, essentially. How often would you say you contact these people? Are you in constant contact with these people?
You can be as involved or not involved as you need. Like if you need an internship, then there's definitely people that you can reach out to, but if you don't need it, then it's not something that's like part of your everyday life.
Right. Now, Colin, we do have to wrap up. We're running out of time here, but I did want to ask one final question. As a brother in a fraternity, would you say that it's generally made your college experience more positive?
Definitely made my college experience more positive.
All right. Well, Colin, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we're happy to have your insights.
Thank you, Adam.
Of course. Up next, Marianna and Jace will bring you the latest news from across the nation. Stay tuned.
Disney Union members voted down a contract proposal covering 45,000 Disney World service workers this past Friday. The company said this proposal offered a quarter of workers a minimum wage of $20 an hour, along with other benefits, including the introduction of a 401k plan. However, current Disney service workers rejected the contract due to its failure to help employees with the cost of living and other expenses in Central Florida. While $15 an hour was enough for the last contract, employees have demanded the minimum wage jump to at least $18 an hour due to inflation.
Many Maryland residents are left worried as state officials are preparing for nearly 80,000 residents to no longer qualify for Medicaid coverage this spring. This comes as the federal government begins to reinstate an eligibility requirement that was in place prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now that the country seems to be on a downswing from the pandemic, Congress told states that they could begin removing ineligible Medicaid users starting in April. This is because they now either make too much money to qualify for the health coverage plan or they have moved. Those who are no longer eligible for the health coverage will be able to receive assistance from the state to get them into a qualifying health plan.
Electronic poll books are still concerning voters going into the 2024 elections, as they have perpetuated election conspiracies and doubts about the technology behind this process. Testing standards and certifications have been in effect for years, but the national standards for security and reliability of the poll books may not be ready by the 2024 election. Security challenges are also a concern, as Russia and Iran have hacked voter information in the past 2 elections. Many election officials are requiring backup measures at polling locations, such as paper copies of voter lists, due to these risks.
The question of whether President Biden will run for a second term is still unknown, but after a speech in Philadelphia on Friday night, it seems likely that he will pursue another presidential bid. Speaking to the Democratic National Committee, Biden boasted about the economy he's created, saying that he and his administration had made the country's most significant federal investments in public works, healthcare, and green technology in decades. He also drug Republicans, claiming that the party is still too beholden to his predecessor, Donald Trump. At one point, Biden asked the crowd, quote, "Are you with me?" which resulted in a resounding chants of 4 more years. An official announcement from the president on if he is going to seek a second term is not expected for at least several weeks. But after Friday's speech, it won't be a surprise if he bids for a 2024 run. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.